Okay, good morning, everyone. All right, so for our last day as a committee for the 23-24 session, we only have, 30 some bills to have to get through here. But since we all know what we're going to do here, my biggest interest in each one we get is who's going to be willing to write the committee report. And I'm hoping I get volunteers because I hate to have to write them all. Right. So,
The report could just be simply that the
Yeah.
committee said.
yeah, you say the committee is voted because the language of the bill in its current form is not workable. And that, and if you want to say something positive to, if you really kind of wanted the bill to pass, you can say that you can find an issue where you think we have some agreement on what we could agree on. And say if the bill focuses on that issue, then if it, if it should be reintroduced, it should be narrowed. Just simply say it should be narrowed. And Representative Spears already sent me her too, and she did a wonderful job.
I sent you one.
And I said, yes, it's all wonderful. It's all wonderful. Okay. All right, start out with House Bill 73, relative to repair of home appliances. Who would like to write the committee report? So much for my plea. Oh, okay, Representative Cole. All right, moves not recommended for future legislation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none?
Roll call. Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
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 yes. Herbert, Eckler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
oh, Grassy,
Yes.
and Raptor's not here. Yes. Right, so, 1, 2. What's the vote?
Stand by, she's counting.
15.
15 is it?
15 Yeas, 0 nays.
Okay. All right, the motion passes. How many people are in the room? Oh, I didn't vote.
Oh, Chairman Hunt, 16. Thanks for catching that, Brian.
Okay. All right. Moving on. So I've just been told that the House Clerk has an even better blurb, committee report. Simply says, the committee was unable to reach a consensus on whether to recommend further legislation or not. Period. So, so if someone who's willing to volunteer to make the motion, you can default to that language, that sentence, if you like. Yeah. Okay, good.
Was that for 73?
What, do you want to come over here and tell me what you're saying? Okay. All right, moving on to the next one. All right, 513, relative to affordability and safety of clinician-administered drugs. I don't even remember this bill. Okay.
I remember it.
Okay, you want to make the motion then?
Sure, since
Okay.
I sponsored it.
Oh, now we know.
Now you remember it.
All right, Representative McGee. I guess I should be looking for a second, Representative Patusek. So, the last one you can put in Patusek for the. Okay. The motion is not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post. Yes. Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassi,
Yes.
and Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, motion is unanimous. On to the next one. House. Yeah, I don't think we have a consent calendar. I think just a regular. It's only one calendar. So. Okay. All right. House Bill 225, relative prohibiting the use of currency that could be detrimental to privacy rights. Representative Ammon.
All right. So she's passing out.
Motion is not recommended for future legislation, and Representative Ammon is recognized to speak to his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We did do a subcommittee, interim study subcommittee on this. This, what Carrie's passing out here is good for Christmas holiday reading. But it's a synopsis of testimony that we had in the subcommittee. This issue will come up again next year, so it's good to kind of get familiar with it. The guest that we had, with the permission of the chair, was Michael Antony. He's a policy analyst at the Cato Institute Center for Monetary and Financial Alternatives. So he had some pretty balanced testimony, and that's what those 3 pages are. And then our subcommittee report is being passed out. That will be my blurb, and not recommended for future legislation.
Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Who made the motion?
Ammon and Patusek.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Patusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Sullivan. Spear,
Yes.
Grassi,
Yes.
and Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. On to the next one. House Bill 303, relative to insurance coverage for pain management services. Who would like to write the committee report? Anybody?
Did this one become overcome by another committee in another group that was looking into
They
this?
were looking at another, yeah, the Health and Human Services Committee was also,
Looking into this, and then and we haven't seen the results of that.
so we're assume that committee is appropriate to make the right decision for this.
Right. If
You
you
wanna
want me to
write
write
that
that
blurb?
part up, I'll write it up.
Okay. Perfect.
So not recommended.
Not recommended for future legislation. Representative Spear, second
Yeah.
by Representative Patusek.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Patusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
and Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next is House Bill 242, relative to banning PFAS in food packaging. Okay, Cole. Okay, it's already been dealt with. We dealt with it in our bill that we did pass. So, yes. Anything more than that? Yeah, we've dealt with this one and the next issue. The two of them we dealt with it within a separate legislation that the governor did not veto and is now on its way to becoming law.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Representative Spear, seconded by Representative Cole. That well, we can only do one at a time, so yes, you can. But yes, both of them had the same answer, which is both these issues were addressed. We kept them in committee, but because we weren't sure what was going to happen with the one that we did pass, the PFAS bill we did pass. Okay. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll. This is, right now we're doing not recommended, yes. That's your default check.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pichelli,
Yes.
Paxton,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows,
Yes.
Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. House Bill 465, restricting the use of, I don't care, say it, substances and other consumer products, PFAS type stuff. Okay.
So that goes with the other ones. so.
Representative Spear, second by Representative Cole, moves not recommended for future legislation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none.
Be a minute.
Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll when she's ready.
I guess I gotta do
All right.
5484.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pichelli,
Yes.
Paxton,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows, yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Moving on. House Bill 544, legalizing cannabis for retail sale. Who would like to make that motion? Representative Walsh, you want to make that motion? Okay. Representative Pacelli is going to second it. Any discussion on the motion? Nope. Don't need to. Okay. Clerk will call the roll of not recommended for future legislation.
Okay, Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pichelli,
Yes.
Paxton,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows, yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. House Bill 1117, relative to creating a committee to study the protection of business operators against requests to accommodate customers with fraudulent or untrained service animals. Okay. Cole, you want to do that one? All right. It's not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion? See none, the clerk will call the roll.
So, it was Cole and who?
Oh, Cole and Petusek.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Axton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy,
Yes.
and Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. 1183, relative to prohibiting the sale of agricultural land and land essential to critical industries to China. Representative
Chairman?
Walsh would like to make.
Mr. Chairman, we have another meeting on this coming up.
We have a study committee, so therefore this bill is, us taking action is meaningless because there
Right.
is a study committee. Representative Walsh would like to write it
So,
because she wants to get on the good side of the senator.
you don't want to see me bleed along.
Okay.
What?
Okay, not recommended for future legislation. And this is 1183.
Spear and Cole, and Spear and Walsh.
Walsh and Spear. Yeah.
She's putting it in anyway.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Baxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes?
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy,
Yes.
Hunt.
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Okay.
16-0.
16 zip. Moving on. House Bill 1207, relative single-use disposable plastic foodware accessories. Anyone?
I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Ammon? And Petusic.
And then Petusic.
Yeah.
He's a Paul.
Ammon.
Okay.
Okay. The motion is not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll when she's ready.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Bollier. Yes. Mackler,
Yes?
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grass.
Yes.
Grassy. Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Moving on. House Bill 1225, relative to Prescription Drug Affordability Board conflicts of interest. Oh, Priscelli? Seconded by Representative Petusek. Any discussion on the motion of not recommended for future legislation? See none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next up is 1232, prohibiting the state or local governments from using central bank digital currency. Representative Ammon moves not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion?
I'll just comment that
Okay.
the pages that I passed out from the Cato Institute apply to this subject area too. So if you want to read up on it, but my motion is not recommended.
Question?
Question, okay.
This one is specifically at the wholesale level and the other one is more at the retail level, so they're not really quite the same. Does that make any difference to your discussion?
Not for today's purposes, no.
Okay.
It's too much detail.
Same but different.
Yeah,
We don't want to get in the weeds today.
yeah. The Cato, this covers both retail and wholesale.
Okay, just,
Okay,
Spear, are you seconding the motion? Sure. Okay.
okay. Recommendation is not recommended.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post,
yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes,
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, next up, House Bill 1306, relative to special assessments for capital improvements in condominiums. Who's our condo person? Oh, Reverend Cole, great. Seconded by Representative Patusek, not recommended for future legislation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll. Of not recommended.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
yes,
Sullivan. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. And 1374, relative to liquor licenses for restaurants. Representative Sullivan, seconded by Representative Patusek, is not recommended for future legislation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none. The clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler. Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
yes,
Sullivan. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next up, House Bill 1395, relative to home heating oil and propane contracts. Cole, all right. Cole, second by. Patusek, Cole, Patusek. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
yes,
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
and Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. You want to do this one, next one? Digital money. Okay, next bill, HB 1444, relative to local regulation of digital mining. And Representative Ammon, second by Representative Petusek, not recommended for future legislation. Is there any discussion on the motion? Seeing none?
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear. Yes. Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassi.
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next up, House Bill 1571, relative requiring insurance coverage for glucose monitoring.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was jumping ahead on that one. Okay,
Innovative.
HB 1507.
I'll
You want
write
to do that one?
Yes.
Okay. Porcelli. Any discussion on the motion of not recommended for future legislation on 1507? Seeing none? Clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear. Yes. Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Grassi,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, now, House Bill 1571, relative requiring insurance coverage for glucose monitoring devices for people with diabetes. Representative Spears, second by Representative Petusek, not recommended for future legislation.
It is, that's what I thought it was going to be.
No, you're saying, you're going to say it's not recommended for future legislation, but the bill, if someone wants to introduce this bill next year, what you're recommending. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get it updated.
What? I don't understand.
Because it's really going to be a different bill that's going to be introduced. It's going to be a new bill. It's not going to be this bill.
So it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
No, we're saying not recommended because the bill in its current form is not recommended. But that we're recommending that if someone were to, in other words, that language of recommending is in the blurb of saying if somebody were to put this bill in,
No. Representative Grassi.
you don't like it that way?
I disagree. I think what we're saying here is that it's recommended for further legislation. It doesn't have to be the exact wording of the bill.
Right.
It can be a different bill, but what we're recommending is that we're basically putting our support again behind anyone who wants to resubmit this bill, but we're recommending it for future legislation. And I think that it says that we encourage someone to come forward with a bill. It doesn't require us to do any more, rather than not requiring it. And if you're intending to have a motion to say that this is not recommended, I will vote no.
Right.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can do that. But my intent was always that it's not to have the next legislature who takes this bill come in and have to go back and look and see what we did or what we thought or where we were at it, but that they have that as something that the subcommittee can work with, but that at the end of the day, that bill as is being introduced will be the new bill. It'll be a new subject.
What they will do, Mr. Chairman, they will look back at what we did here in this legislation and our recommendation that we encourage further legislation.
Right.
So, and I think if we vote no, they would look back at this committee saying that, well, the committee didn't think it was important or think this was a good enough bill. So therefore, maybe we shouldn't introduce something, or maybe people will look at this and saying we shouldn't support this in the future. Whereas if we say yes, it is recommended for future legislation, we're supporting efforts to move forward, and people are going to look back that this committee supports this effort. And I think that's what the
That's what I'm trying
intent
to
seemed to
say.
be, that we supported this effort, and we support it in the future, and we want to see it come back. Voting no would be contrary to that.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, voting saying not recommended would be contrary.
All right, Representative McGee?
Mr. Chairman, Can I ask you just a question? I thought that we're discussing the bill in its basically
Current form.
exact current form. So if we supported this bill in, let me just finish. If
That's what I said.
my understanding is, if we supported this bill in its current form, like I'm going to speak for my own bill because I would have liked to have seen it pass too. And I'm writing a blurb saying it's not recommended for future legislation because I understood through the process and interim study that it's not. Like there were enough issues with it. And so I wrote the blurb, not recommended for my own bill, that it's not recommended for future legislation. However, I think there's enough issues with it, safety and affordability of prescription drugs. I think we all think that we ought to study, we ought to address the issue of affordability and pricing of prescription drugs. I think that's very bipartisan. Everybody agrees that drugs are expensive and we should look at those issues. So we should continue to look at those issues, but it wasn't that bill. And I think we also pretty much agree that in the case of this one, coverage for glucometer monitoring, I hear it all the time. I use it myself. We ought to look at it. But if somebody brought back this bill, unamended, this language, we wouldn't recommend it because we didn't before, or we would have passed it.
Except that we're writing in here what needs to change.
Agreed, and that's good. I believe we should probably do that. But this bill, and it is a little bit of semantics, but this bill is not recommended. And like my own bill, 513, I think it was, I'm not recommending. So we're not recommending any of these bills.
Then what's the words future
Okay.
legislation mean?
Okay, so
Bingo.
what I'm saying to you, right, that we used to have not recommended, or recommended with amendment. They took that motion away from us. Okay? Under the rules, that motion was taken away. So here's the point. The point being is to say is, would we really recommend a bill that it doesn't matter whether you're pre-diabetic or diabetic or not diabetic at all, that we are going to do a health insurance mandate that anybody can get one of these glucose monitoring things? Well, no. Okay, so that's why I will let you speak. I'll let you speak. Okay, so that's why the issue is that what I thought I sent out in my email to everybody is all bills are not recommended, but that if you really do want the issue, if you really do want that bill, that you really like the issue, then I wanted you to write the blurb and say that even though the committee is not recommending legislation, we think that a bill that says this does that, then that's your recommendation, but you're writing that recommendation in the committee report as a recommendation for the future legislature, the future committee, for a future sponsor.
So my question is, do I have to change? What do I change here?
I'll worry about that.
Okay, then.
Are you willing to make the motion, not recommending
Yes.
for legislation, knowing that your blurb is not going to be changed too much?
Yeah, I'll vote for that.
Okay. Too much. Okay.
So
Now,
for
anybody
clar-
else would like to, Representative Burrows?
Yes.
I mean, is it possible to say something like not recommended with its current wording?
Yeah.
But,
Unfortunately, yes, you could write that. That's exactly what-
blurb.
Exactly.
but
in the blurb.
not, but not in the,
You can't write because
okay,
they
because
took that recommendation
got
away
it.
from
All right,
us.
got it.
It's not recommended in as it's written. The committee absolutely has been working and thinking about this issue. And if you narrow it down and to what you would wrote in your blurb, narrowing it down, then it
Yeah,
would-
as long, if you're willing to just make a change to the top part,
Yeah.
not recommended, then, and if you leave the rest of it the way it is, then I'm
Exactly.
fine with that.
That's what I plan to do. I guess I missed that when I the top.
It was
I
in capital
apologize.
letters. It was in caps.
So
Maybe
for-
that's why I didn't read it.
So
I don't like it
for
when anybody's yelling at me.
clarification- So I didn't
Yeah.
read the blurb or the report, but for clarification, even though we support the concept, the bill in its current form is what we're
saying
recommended
that
for
we
future.
want, we
Not
want it to
recommended
be
for future,
worked
right.
on at a future point, so the bill could be improved.
Exactly.
And that's what
in the
your
future.
write-up will
But-
reflect. Even though we support it in concept, you don't pass concepts, you pass bills and laws. Thank you.
Put your mic on. Mic.
It says for future legislation, so, you know, I got a little bit lost.
Somebody submit it, right, within the time period in 3 weeks.
Put your mic on, please.
Could be already filed.
Yeah, the bill's already in. Yeah, it's already been filed. Right.
Okay.
So, you okay, Representative Grassi? Okay, Representative Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So just for clarity, this is a purely technical recommendation that we don't recommend this particular bill with this particular wording.
Correct.
But it's not a statement that this is unimportant or that we don't like the idea, only that we don't want to go forward with this particular wording. And the person writing the blurb could include something about the importance of the concept.
Exactly.
Thank
got
you.
it.
Should I read my
You can vote
blurb?
no, it's all
I
right.
am gonna vote no,
Okay.
because I don't like, why do we even have this session? If we're gonna
What are
vote
you
not
doing?
recommended on all of
We
the
often
bills?
wonder
It-
that.
Because of the blurbs that are gonna go out?
I,
It's gonna
I,
clarify our motion?
my thinking was that we retain the bill for the purpose so that we can talk about it and we can think about it, so that when it does come time to write those committee reports, these committee reports, that we can state in them what the issues were, of what was wrong with this one, and what we think should occur in any future legislation.
If we voted to recommend, couldn't the blurb say the same thing? Or the report? It could.
It
say-
could,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they say is, we recommend it, but boy, does it need to be amended. Okay, no, I was trying to keep it simple and just say, at this point, this bill in its current form, and here's the reason why we don't recommend it. And,
Should I read the reason?
and you state the reasons, like, it was
Should I
too.
read them?
Sure, why don't you read the blurb? Excuse me.
This
committee
bill
report.
requires health carriers to cover the cost of continuous glucose monitoring equipment for anyone with any type of diabetes or hypoglycemia. The bill includes provisions detailing the requirements for qualifications, caps on out-of-pocket expenses, and coverage under Medicaid. As it exists, the bill is too broad in scope with no way to bound the cost. It is recommended that the bill be rewritten to only include persons diagnosed with type 2 diabetes on therapies other than insulin. Glucose monitoring is already provided for those on insulin and covered fully under fully insured plans in the New Hampshire large and small group markets. Requirements for Medicaid recipients should be handled in a separate bill. Caps should be eliminated. Data shows that caps often drive up costs of medical devices paid for insurance carriers. Based on data received from the insurance department across type 1 diabetes, there is very little cost sharing with respect to continuous glucose monitoring equipment. Again, based on the findings from data received on type 1 patients presented by the insurance department and their assumptions regarding the number of type 2 patients willing to accept such monitoring equipment, the expected impact to insurance costs would be fairly low, and I have the detailed numbers if anybody cares. However, these costs would be mitigated by a reduction in the severe, often critical outcomes of diabetes on patients who do not correctly monitor their glucose levels.
I approve that.
Thank you.
So now we are gonna recommend.
No, we're not recommending for
But I'm
future
writing this
legislation, but
after they're
she's
not recommending.
she's in there what we recommend them to do. The committee, I hear you. But-
Finally, something
Okay,
we fight about.
is there any more discussion on the motion of not
Who
recommended
seconded
for future legislation?
Who seconded Patusa?
Yeah, well, yeah, Patusek is the second, okay? Any more discussion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGill,
Yes.
Riccelli,
Yes.
Paxton. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, no. Mackler. Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Grassi,
No.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
14-2.
Okay.
Patusa wants to do it next.
Okay. All right. House Bill 1582, relative to allowing for the consumption of alcohol in artist performances areas. Representative Petusek not recommends for future legislation. And,
Second.
well, you want to? Yeah, well, this, we already took it up in a different bill. We actually did pass it. This is an easy one. Okay, so you want to write a blurb?
You got it.
Okay, all right. All right, Representative Sullivan.
I'll second.
Second, Representative Petuse. Okay. Not recommended for future legislation. Any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek.
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
McGee.
Yes.
Pacelli.
Yes.
Thaxton. Walsh.
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk. Yes. Mackler. Yes. Gibbs. Gibbs.
Sorry, yes.
Spear.
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy.
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. House Bill 1621, Representative Petusek, seconded by Representative Sullivan. Requiring Liquor Commission to distribute certain information in liquor stores, not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion?
This is the same thing. Somebody else.
This-
They are going to introduce
It's,
another bill.
well, in this case, the Liquor Commission just went ahead and put TV sets and you get, when you walk in, they're going to advise you that, you know.
Yeah, it's already being done.
I've seen it once. But I know there's another bill.
You're saying is that the legislation is not necessary.
Not necessary.
Right.
Right. Well, Representative Petusek was going to do it. But thank you for volunteering.
But you'll second.
Okay. Okay. Next up, House. Over there, we got to vote on this. What the heck?
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek.
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
McGee.
Yes.
Pacelli.
Yes.
Thaxton. Walsh.
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk. Yes. Mackler. Yes. Gibbs.
Yes.
Spear.
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy.
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next up is House Bill 1636, relative to creating the New Hampshire Container Deposit Refund, Recycle, and Reuse System. Any volunteers? Representative Gibbs, you want to write the committee report? Have not recommended for future legislation? Okay.
But she can write in support.
She could write in it that, you know, that if they could do something to address some of the issues that are in that bill, you know, that why we're not recommending it because it's, you know, way it's written. But if she could say in it that if the bill did this or that, you know, then there would be more sympathy for it. Representative Gibbs.
Basically, I'd be saying that we're not recommending it because the system in the bill was overly complex. And that if another bill with the same purpose were to be brought forward, that could be recommended.
Okay, there you go. Okay, seconded by Representative Petusek. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek.
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
McGee.
Yes.
Pacelli.
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh.
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk. Yes. Mackler.
Yes.
Gibbs. Yes. Spear.
Yes.
Sullivan. Grassy.
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Moving on. House Bill 1645, establishing a condominium dispute resolution board. Representative Burrows moves not recommended for future legislation and is recognized to speak to her motion.
We're not going to recommend this for future recommendation, but as we are going to be looking at a resolution board for manufactured housing, we will be looking to see if there's anything that we can do in this regards.
Yep. Okay, Representative Petusek, seconded. Okay, is the motion clear? The clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton, Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows, Clark, yes, Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan, Grassy,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, motion carries. 1674, relative to establishing the New Hampshire Legal Tender Act and establishing a state bullion depository. This is yours, right?
Yeah.
Representative Ammon moves not recommended for future legislation. And
Speak.
is recognized to speak to his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to pause here. I put this bill in for State Senator Jim Forsyth, and I just wanted to, kind of underscore that he passed away, while this bill was being worked on, and he was a New Hampshire was lucky to have him as a senator, and I just wanted to just mention that. My blurb is, you should have a copy of it from the subcommittee report. So that's what I'll be submitting. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the motion of not recommended for future legislation? See none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton, Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows, yes, Clark, yes, Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan, Grassy,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt, 16-0.
Okay. House Bill 1702, relative to the oversight of Liquor Commission funding and repealing the Liquor Commission fund.
I move.
Representative Petusek, seconded by Representative Hunt.
Can I speak to this for a minute?
You can speak to your motion of not recommended for future legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I definitely recommend that this is not ready for any further action and be put in a hole and filled with 6 foot of dirt. Thank you.
I'd like to make a comment as well. Not recommended, I agree with, but there was testimony early on in the session regarding the timely manner of the funds being given back to the state.
Right, and that was solved in a different bill.
Okay,
That issue was solved.
great, thanks.
Okay, any other discussion on the motion? The clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusek,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Saxton, Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows, yes, Clark, yes, Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
All right, we get through the House bills. Now we do the Senate bills. Senate Bill 97, relative to the use of animals in product testing.
I'll take,
What's that?
I could speak to that.
You could not recommend it for future legislation.
Not recommended for future legislation. However, we will be reviewing some of the recommendations of the Humane Society and Dartmouth College going forward for potential legislation.
Okay.
I'd like to second that.
Second, Representative Wilton.
Yes.
Okay. Is the question clear? The clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Paxton. Walsh. Burrows.
Yes.
Yes.
Clark, yes. Maclear.
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
Did I? Representative Paxton, did I not give you a chance to respond? I said yes. No, I know, I have that, but I thought I went on to the next before.
He didn't have his mic on. He was very quiet.
Okay, no, we're good. I just wanted to apologize. Okay. All right, so it's 16-0.
Okay. Senate Bill 332, limiting disclosures of consumer reports requested in connection with a credit transaction involving an extension of credit secured by real estate. Okay. Representative Paxton. Okay. Patusek. All right. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll of inexpedient to legislate.
Not recommended.
Excuse me, not recommended for future. I'm really going to get myself in trouble.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Patusek,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Pacelli,
Yes.
Paxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows,
Yes.
Clark, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Senate Bill 353, relative insurance coverage for autism spectrum disorder and Down syndrome. Representative Spear recommends, not recommended for future legislation, but has a committee report. Maybe you want to read your committee report. So.
This bill seeks to add Down syndrome to the list of biologically based mental illnesses listed in RSA 417E in order to gain access to certain behavioral therapies. However, Down syndrome itself is not a mental disorder, and I think that needs to be very clear. It is a genetic condition that includes intellectual disability. Down syndrome individuals have some form of autism, Down syndrome individuals can certainly have accompanying mental disorders. For example, it is estimated that approximately 20% also have some form of autism spectrum disorder. Based on discussions with medical director of the largest health insurance provider in the fully insured market in New Hampshire, those Down syndrome patients diagnosed with exhibiting symptoms of autism and who are correctly coded as such by their doctor have full access to applicable therapies. Several organizations, including the New Hampshire Insurance Department, were asked if there were any records of complaints or individuals being turned down for treatment. While one person did come forward, they were covered under a self-insured plan over which the legislature has no control. The concern is that those patients that may need help are not seeking it. And while 353 is problematic as written, a better written bill accompanied by actionable data could be evaluated in the future.
Well done.
Perfect.
Well done. Gary.
Thank you.
She should be governor.
I
Okay.
write specs for a living. I know how to do this.
All right, is the motion clear? The clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Cole.
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Michelli,
Yes.
Thaxton,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows,
Yes.
Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yes. Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, Senate Bill 365, relative to the sale or use of lithium-ion batteries for electric bicycles, scooters, personal electric mobility devices. You can do this one, Kate?
Question?
What?
I have a question. We received amendments for this that we didn't seem to vote on.
We never, in terms of when we sent it to interim study, right, there was still, because we were trying to address the European
Yeah.
The ISO
certification
standards.
numbers and.
And they
NEPS
did
numbers.
submit an amendment
Right.
with that.
Right. So, but so we would we write that in the blurb that we would expect if this bill were to come back next year, that they would have that
Okay,
amendment in
then.
it.
All right.
Okay, Representative Spear. Any more discussion on the motion? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Michelli,
Yes.
Thaxton,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Next, Senate Bill 477, relative to establishing commission to review and make recommendations regarding technology-based startup businesses, support from the state of New Hampshire. Okay, Representative Ammon. Second by Representative Patusek. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I think the New Hampshire does have a fund that supports entrepreneurs in this field, so we don't need future legislation. And I also want to just comment, we didn't have any follow-up or any representation from the people that presented this bill, in subcommittee or exec committee. So
Who was the
In
sponsor?
the public hearing, we had.
Yeah,
in the public hearing, it
Yeah.
was, well, I don't know who
Who was the
the
sponsor?
We had Scott Merrick
I got
and
cut off my sponsor list for Senate bills.
Yeah, me too. Let's see, 477. right?
yeah, individuals speaking on the bill
Right.
were here to present the bill,
Yeah.
as well as the sponsor, and then they didn't.
I think they got the sense that we weren't
Too excited
keen
about
on
it.
it. Yeah. Senator Gannon is the prime sponsor.
Gannon.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, he'll be back, so. Okay.
He'll be back. I don't know about that.
When do you give up your parking space?
I don't have to give it up because I never did get
No, I
one.
mean,
He's he's looking at me, yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. Any discussion on the motion? The clerk will call the roll. Not recommended for future legislation.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusek,
Yes.
Post,
yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Michelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clark, yes. Mackler,
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan, Grassy,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay. Senate Bill 64, establishing a study committee on resident-owned manufactured housing park disputes and oversight of resident-owned manufactured housing parks.
Okay, this
Representative Burrows.
particular bill is not being recommended for future study because the study But however, we are recommending future legislation to explore another number of options in conjunction with the stakeholders.
Any discussion on the motion? Okay. The clerk will call the roll of not recommended for future legislation.
Burrows and then Petusic.
Yep.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Richelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, no. Maclear,
No.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan, Grassy,
No.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
13,
13-2.
13-3.
13.
13-3. Okay. Senate Bill 180, relative to product labeling and information guide requirements for cannabis products and the prohibition of the sale of hemp products containing certain levels of THC. So some of this stuff was addressed by a different bill. And we like to write the blurb on it. Representative Walsh. Okay, second by Representative Petusic. Any discussion on the motion of not recommended for future legislation? Seeing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Shelley,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Yes. Clerk, yes. Maclear,
Yes.
Gibbs. Yes. Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan. Yep. Grassy. Yes. Chairman Hunt,
Yes.
16-0.
Okay, motion carries. Senate Bill 201, relative to the resale of event tickets.
I don't remember why this didn't pass.
Representative Burrows.
I did some research after the fact.
Okay.
And the consumer protection laws cover a lot of this already. So they
Already.
do have protections that we were not discussing at the time.
You willing to write the blurb?
Sure.
Thank you.
Or Jane, were you looking at Jane? I think you were.
No, I was always,
I'm doing enough writing right now.
I'll do it.
okay. Representative Burrows
I thought you might want to do it for
slash Petusic. Okay, is the question clear? We have one more left, so you should have one more extra sheet. Yeah. Okay. This is 201.
Right. Representative Ammon. Oh. Petusic,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole. Yes. McGee,
Yes.
Richelli,
Yes.
Thaxton. Yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Burrows. Clerk, yes. Maclear.
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Grassy. Sullivan. Chairman Hunt.
Yes. He was out of the room when the question was put, so. I did not notice. My back was turned.
So it's 15-0.
Okay. All right. Okay, we ready for the last one? Last but not least, Senate Bill 235, relative to service provided through a primary care behavioral health model. Representative McGee, is this one of yours? No, it's a Senate bill, so you can't be a prime.
Not yet.
Right. Does anybody remember what this bill is about? You can write the behavioral care.
An impact.
I'll write the blurb.
Finally got one.
I got one. Do sick.
And this is not recommended.
Not recommended for future legislation. Any discussion on the motion? Okay.
Representative Ammon,
Yes.
Matusik,
Yes.
Post,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
McGee,
Yes.
Riccelli,
Yes.
Saxton, Walsh,
Out of the room.
Burrows, out of the room. Clerk, yes. Mackler.
Yes.
Gibbs,
Yes.
Spear,
Yes.
Sullivan.
Yes.
Grassi,
Yes.
Chairman Hunt.
Yes.
Zero.
Okay. And with that,
Can I ask a question?
yes.
We had a bill concerning brew pub licenses. You remember the
Yes.
Michael Timothy came in
Yes.
and we got that passed. It was HB 1380, I guess it was.
Yes.
They came back with a letter that indicated the wrong one got passed.
Correct. And I will be putting in the bill in to correct that.
That's what I
position.
wanted to know. Okay, good.
So for now,
No, it's a non-issue now, but there was some tension whether the governor should veto the whole thing, which we didn't want them to do. So we're actually ironically what we passed, the
That's
House
right.
passed, is actually statute, and that we will amend it. I'll amend it for next session.
Okay, thanks.
It's back to the compromise language that it was worked out between the parties that were involved. Representative Gibbs.
When do you need the committee report?
We'll try to get it done this week,
Okay, thank you.
please. Any else? Representative McGee?
Thank you for an enjoyable term. My third with you, separated by 20 some years.
Yes, correct.
As most of you know, I will not be returning, so I enjoyed working with all of you and hope to see you again next year in a somewhat different capacity, God willing. We'll know in about 3 weeks.
There you go.
But I genuinely appreciate it, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Before you all leave, please clean out your drawers. Do you have drawers in the back room here? No, we're not worried about. Right. It wasn't that kind of day. Okay. And then also we do have thank yous to our committee assistant and our committee researcher. So any contributions that you want to pay into it will be greatly accepted. And that the clerk is handling that. So if you just want to stop by here and do your part, that would be great.
and I have gift certificates
Right.
for the two of them and some homemade grape preserves for
Right.
myself. Thank you.
Representative Burrows, yes.
Yeah, I want to second what Representative McGee said. I really appreciate the chair for his good humor, for his fairness, and I really hope that next term we have people that aren't going to muck up the nice nonpartisanship that we've had for the past 2 years, because it's been
Here,
really-
here.
It's been great, and again, please, no crazy people. Thank you.
On that note, we are adjourned.
Could I please have this for being your clerk for 2 years?
Right. What? You want to take my gavel?
Please? Thank you. You have many of them.